All right, what's up, my brothers? We got a sponsored request, request a topic, if you will, from one of our viewers. Guy's a 28-year-old man in Europe. He's gone through a bit of a funk right now. He's kind of in a bit of a monk MGTOW sort of mode, and he's looking for some meaning. He's trying to find meaningful relationships. He's never had a girlfriend. It sounds like he's interested in girls in the future. So let's hop right into his request and see what's going on here. Thank you for the fantastic work. Keep it going. My request is moving forward in life. Here we go. Getting better and enduring it. A little bit about myself. I've always been pretty introverted guy since I knew myself, not the kind of person who enjoys parties, hanging out, being foolish. As you can guess, I struggle a lot with friendship and girls. So he's 28, never had a girlfriend. About 2 years ago, faced depression, managed to get out of it with some psychotherapy, no medication. Depression was a wake-up call for him as he was fighting for himself. My depression was not due to chemical imbalance. It happened because my life was out of balance. Too much work as remote software developer, freelancer, very poor, social life, no meaningful relationship, shitty family. I recognize it's my fault for not taking care of myself. Yeah, dude, like anytime you get into a depressed mode, and you're feeling down on your life, it's because there's just crap going on in your life. It's usually you might have I often say something that one of my mentors repeated to me or many years ago, if you will. He's like, before you feel like you need to get diagnosed for depression, make sure you're not surrounding yourself with assholes or hanging out with too many assholes or doing stupid things that don't really fill your cup. So that's important to recognize. Guy lives in Europe. About to move to London, has a really nice job lined up to make money with networking. In this process of switching countries, he fears that he'll be moving through life without making any meaningful friends. Already feels out of place where he's born. It's a bit hard to imagine the opposite in another country. For some reason, I don't quite enjoy people that much, even though he knows he needs them. I also realize that it might harm me when I get into a relationship, as it might be weird for a girl to date a guy who doesn't have friends. I think that so that's true. There's that social proof component of attraction and arousal, of course. Women want to be with guys that other men want to be. And if you don't have a good social circle or a good, circle of influence, if you will, it's certainly going to lower your sexual marketplace value to the opposite sex. I feel even my current friendships are starting to annoy me and I'm lacking enthusiasm. I think this is due to stagnation. Nothing else to learn and do. So if you're the champion of what you're doing, shouldn't you be doing more with that time, would be my first question. Anyway, let's just carry on a little bit more. I believe this is due to major lack of confidence I've always had regarding social situations. This is something I need to work on. I can't say I'm a magnetic, lovable person. Can't say I'm, okay, another aspect to work on. The obvious solution most people would say is, oh, just practice it and you'll get better. Well, I get the idea, but it's not that straightforward. I forced myself to be in social events several times since I know myself, and I had some improvement, but far from being normal. I was quite blown away when you mentioned being an introvert yourself in another video. Would love to get your perspective on this. The worst part about being introverted is people thinking you don't give a goddamn about them. Damn about them, okay. Which is far from being the truth. Sometimes I feel I just love to be alone for days on end, and if you don't show up for people, they start to forget about you. There are some positives about my life. I make decent amount of money with prospect of growing, decent looking, 6 feet. I've been hitting the gym and doing weightlifting. There's still plenty of room to improve. Checking out my YouTube channel and others to grow as a person, doing what is necessary to move forward. Is it just me, or as part of an adult? Okay, I'm going to answer these questions in a minute. I just want to finish your request because we're done here. I'm very good at work as my software programmer, but when it comes to social settings, I suck. Although I'm confident in my work, it doesn't get. Although I'm confident at my work, it doesn't get through other area of life. Okay, so your confidence at work isn't translating to social situations. While socializing, I constantly feel how worthless these interactions are. So you don't get much out of these social situations. In this world we live, we don't need that much social interaction to survive. He works remotely, so it sounds like he's working from home. At age 28, I already feel disconnected, and I don't know if I'm overreacting or having unrealistic expectations about friends, relationships, and life. Regardless of my age, I feel this can happen to anyone in my age. Although some friends, we live in different cities, even though we're together. Okay. At this stage, I'm concerned about making money career. A man without money is just a worthless piece of garbage to women, and without resources, you become limited. At the end of the day, we all need people in our lives, bring some value and fulfillment. Would love to hear your opinion. So your questions about this post really lie within here in this paragraph. So let's hit these. Is it just me, or being part of an adult is to feel consistently lonely and constantly trying to fit in? Yeah, so let's hit that. The point of being, I think introverts see. There's a difference between being alone and being lonely, and I did a video on this. This has been requested before, or some version of this has been requested before. So I'm just going to make a quick note here to put a card up on the top right. Take a look for that video because there was some good commentary in that one. But yeah, lonely versus alone. Deal with that component. No, it like part of being an adult, like one of the important components of Homo sapiens, if you will, sapiens, is we get shit done on a collaborative basis. The reason why we're the most successful species on this planet, I mean, ever, I guess, with the exceptions of certain bugs like cockroaches, for example, which arguably probably beat us out, but goes to show you about the significance of them, right? But the reason why we're successful is our ability to all subscribe into common beliefs. Fiat, I don't have my wallet on my desk, but something like fiat currency, for example, like money, intrinsically is just a piece of paper or plastic, depending on where it's printed in the world now. But it has no value, right? You can't eat it. You can't wear it as clothing. You can't make things out of it. You can't drive it. It's not a mode of transportation. It's pretty useless. But the only reason why it has value is because we all subscribe to the value of that number on the US dollar, right? If it's a 20, we all agree it's a 20 sort of thing. So, I mean, part of the reason why we're successful is we all agree on subscribing to certain beliefs, whether that's religious, whether that's societal, whether that's something like liberalism or whatever. We all subscribe to a certain belief system, and we all kind of toe the line with that. So you got to understand that part of being in the world today is understanding how to get along with people. I can't remember who said it. It might have been Carnegie. I don't know. I can't remember. But old lesson that I learned many years ago as an introvert myself is you have to learn how to get along with people. Not that it's always easy. People will dupe you. They'll let you down. They'll lie to you. They'll cheat you. I had my best friend of 20 years in one of my first businesses totally double cross me. And that friendship ended. He basically derailed my entire business and my life about, 10, 12, 15 years ago, something like that. We ended up getting into a bunch of BS and we're no longer friends, of course. But that's a choice that he made, right? I mean, there's people that are going to dupe you and double cross you in your life, and you may find that the juice is not worth the squeeze. One of the things that I found as an introvert anyway, is that you might end up doing work on something or investing in relationships or in people or in their business or an event or something that they're building, hoping that the ROI will be there, that there'll be some level of appreciation. And I think it's a lot like relationship equity that we talk about on the sexual marketplace. A lot of guys believe that if you put time, effort, and energy into a relationship, it's like making deposits into this universal bank account that you can make withdrawals from later on that will fill your cup. And that's not only always true. I mean, human beings are, I don't know, how can I put this? Solipsism is a phrase or term that gets tagged to women a lot, but I think humans in general are very selfish, if I'm being honest. So you're going to find that there's going to be effort exerted, and the juice may not be worth the effort that you exert, if you will. So constantly try. I wouldn't constantly try to fit in, my friend. Just do you. I mean, there are times where you're going to have to modify your message based on the room that you're in, for example. But you shouldn't have to constantly try to fit in. There comes a point in a man's life where he starts to give ZFG. I've talked a lot about ZFG. I'm trying to soften my tone here on YouTube, but I think most of you guys know what that means. If not, you can Google it. It is your friend. It will answer questions for you. But we should all, as we kind of go through these trials and tribulations, realize that you only have a certain amount of energy that you can dispense on a regular basis, and you should dispense it for things that are truly worth your time. And if you find the ROI is not there, then it's up to you to modify that behavior. Constantly trying to fit in is not a good use of your energy. Maybe you're in the wrong room, maybe you've got the wrong people, the wrong circle of influence around you, but you've got to decide better on what to do with your time. Next question, how often do we need to make new friends? I don't know. I mean, my value that I put on new friends has become limited. I vet a lot longer now when it comes to friendships. I've been screwed over so many times by people I thought that were my friends, that were my brothers, that would have had my back. And there's really a very few small circle of influence that I can think of that truly actually gives AF. Most of the time, it's all about them, how they can profit and benefit. The interesting thing about money is what I've noticed in business is it really reveals what people are all about. It's a magnifier. If it's like alcohol is a magnifier too. So, I mean, if somebody's like truly an a-hole and they get loaded, you'll probably find that that is going to magnify who they truly are. It really turns off filters. And I think it's the same thing with money is when situations change for people and they see dollar signs, they'll throw you under the bus. I've seen people do this. I mean, we're in, towards the end of June, and I see people get thrown under the bus all the time. So I would not put that much value in, making friends. If people want to enter your life and become friends with you, then allow that to happen. Trust but verify. I'm not saying trust in the sense where you bet the farm on some project or something that you might be collaborating on with somebody, but move a lot slower. Guys in general, I think, are very quick to give their heart away, to give away financial resources, whether it's to women, business opportunities, entrepreneurs, new ventures, and things like that. And I'd like to see guys slow the hell down, slow a lot further down. Yeah, you might miss some opportunities, but you'll also get burned a lot less as you hone your spidey senses and your intuition improves. Let's go to the next one here. How important is it to keep old stagnating friends? It's not. You get rid of them. Every year, I mean, sometimes even twice a year, I'll just update my contact list and I'll delete numbers of people that I don't want to have. That way, if they message me, it's a random number that I don't recognize, and I just don't have to respond to it. I'm not telling them to pound sand. I'm not like having a breakup, with them. Like, I'm never going to talk to you again, and here's why. It's just you kind of just like let them go, and you don't care about it. One of the mistakes I see people make a lot of the times is they let somebody go out of their life, but they still care about it. They still, oh, well, I'm lovingly caring for them at a distance or something like that, but they're not right for me right now, sort of thing. I think that's probably more of a feminine decision, than a masculine. But you've got to understand that if somebody is not useful in your life and they're not family. I mean, like even family, you can keep at arm's length too, as well too. So don't think just because you share blood, you have to tolerate abuse or any kind of uselessness, for example. But yeah, you have to fire people in your life, and you're not gonna be a dick about it. Like, you're fired, I'm never gonna talk to you again, and here's why you're fired. It's just lose their numbers, and it's as simple as that. They call or they text, you just don't respond to them, and that way you don't have to worry about that. But yeah, you need to clean house from time to time. Besides weightlifting, what else can I do to gain confidence? Oh, that's an easy one. Compete. Do something competitive. Ride mountain bikes. Get into combat sports, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, play soccer, something. Beyond having a strong masculine body where you've got a nice V-taper, broad shoulders, narrow waist, you're living in a healthy, fit body, that lets you excel at life. Men also need to compete. So find something, and video games don't count. I mean, most video games today, I need to do a video updating my take on video games and some new lessons that I've learned. But video games generally don't count. I mean, it's better than doing nothing and watching the grass grow, if I'm being honest. But for the most part, you need to do something where you compete in person, whether it's hand-to-hand combat, boxing, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, playing soccer, rugby. Find something that you like that you can compete in. And if you're introverted and you're not fond of team sports, there's other things you can do. You can get into mountain bike racing. I've done a lot of that. That's a lot of fun. It's great exercise too. It's not a team sport. It's not like volleyball or anything like that. But there's individual things that you can do where you can compete against other people, not on a team if you're an introvert. Motorsports, motorcycle racing, all kinds of stuff. So find something in that realm and execute on that, and you will find your confidence go up. As you win, there's a lot of studies that have been done on this. As you win in life as a man, your testosterone levels will go up, when you actually win a competition. It's very, very good for you. And it looks like that's it. So I don't really have any other tips for you. Before we go, I should quickly shout out to the channel sponsor, the Grondike Soap Company, Tactical Soap. It's pheromone-infused, handmade soap in the U.S. They are a channel sponsor. If you've enjoyed watching stuff on my channel, consider, grabbing some soap from them. They also have a great beard oil product, which is also infused with the pheromones. Again, it's high-quality stuff. You can get your cheap crap from the Costco's of the world or whatever, but it's not natural. This stuff's all natural. Yeah, it costs a bit more. If you check out with coupon code Cooper, there's a card up on the top right of the screen. Check out with coupon code Cooper, you'll get 10% off. So hit that link. And for those of you that have asked about community, because this is kind of one of the things that he's asking about, I don't really want to push it too much, but I've got my men's community open. I may close down the basic tier because I don't want things getting too busy in there. But if you feel like you want to access something like this, it's about the price of a coffee a day. The value is great. We do a lot of learning events. We talk about side hustle. There's a lot of people in there from all the way around the world. So there's some local meetups too. I'm not guaranteeing, but if you're going to London, there's definitely people in London. But there's local meetups, and you'll be able to connect with other like-minded men that are, of course, red pill, chasing excellence. They're not going to waste a lot of time chasing tail. They're obviously working on their purpose and mission in life. So you can check that out. There's a card up on the top right. And last but not least, if you'd like to make a request, card up on the top right. You can request a video here on this page. You make a PayPal donation, name, email, and it sends you to a second page where you can also send this email to me. All right, that's it for today's video. I want to thank you for the sponsored request. Make sure if you're not subscribed to the channel, YouTube keeps telling me to remind you guys this, I'm not sure why, but if you're not subscribed to the channel, hit the subscription button and the notification bell so you don't miss out on new content. And just a reminder, there's a show on Monday nights called Before the Train Wreck I'm doing with my friend, Dr. Sean T. Smith. And that's on 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Monday night. See you guys later. Peace.